The Shipyard Pyjama Party. Dempsey and Makepeace. Season 2, Episode 3. Love You to Death.
So do we want to watch Love You to Death?
What the heck? Why not? Right, let me just check this is still recording. We'll be watching it all again.
No! I remember everything we said.
Oh, this isn't Love You to Death. What was this? Oh, it's Jacko from Brushstrokes. That's
Oh!
not the right episode.
Did you?
Because
Oh,
of
yeah,
you,
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
things I do.
The one I
It's like on the tweet I put up that how many people that have been in this that ended up in EastEnders.
Oh, yeah.
And the one I missed, the most obvious one, was Max Branning. Didn't even notice he was in it. Missed that one completely because he's about 15.
I was like, he's young because he's in Press Gang as well.
Okay, this episode we're going to look at now is Love You to Death. It's season 2, episode 3, and it features Suzi Quatro.
Yay!
Well, that's all we'll say for the moment.
At the moment, I just have a black spinning screen, so do bear with me.
Oh, we do love our Wi-Fi. It's so great.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay, and
3,
go.
2, 1, go. So Dempsey's phone's ringing. Dempsey with his interesting sculpture on the window. No idea what that was. Oh, everybody had those folding alarm clocks.
Okay, they're ringing in this very minor echo.
Sorry. I was like,
oh, those travel alarm clocks.
Yeah.
I think my dad still had one. My nan had one of them as well. It was like it would fold down into a little case so we could take it on holiday.
Yeah. Snapchat.
Oh, Dempsey's overslept.
Oh dear.
Who do you reckon it was ringing him then? Do you reckon it was Makepeace or Chaz? Chaz might be ringing him.
Probably Chaz, I would imagine.
So, and now he's gone to his car and his car won't start. It's trusty Merc that the NYPD are paying for.
With his mane of amazing hair. I mean, he
has fantastic hair.
Still to this day has amazing hair.
I'm gonna have to send you a photo of my dad with my nan. My dad must be about 20 years old, and he's got proper. Even actually when we were younger, my dad had proper thick black hair.
Oh,
that's like
poor man in the bus stop queue gets a bullet to the noggin.
So yeah, man just got shot as Dempsey was picking the ladies' newspaper up.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. So, okay, so the police have turned up to the crime scene. But
Dempsey is wearing very tight jeans. Very.
Just thinking the same thing.
Very tight jeans. You can count the change in his pocket, as they say.
So
he's having a smoke.
Leaning on a Volvo, having a ciggy. Oh, denim and corduroy jacket.
Yeah, and has he got a thing of blood down his face? Nice.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because obviously
he goes to freshen up.
Why is this guy being shot? And very quickly they realise there's absolutely no reason for this guy to have been shot. Because he was the poor fellow. Just in
and they're going to see the wife, who is the fantastic. Sadly no longer with us, Elizabeth Sladen from Doctor Who.
Going to say that's Elizabeth Sladen. I saw she was the what do you call it, the screen
legend.
Yes,
I saw her I used to live in Ealing and she lived in Ealing. And it used to be every year in Pitshanger Lane there was a Christmas fair and she opened it one year. And she was there, so
gone far too soon.
Yeah. I like Sarah Jane Smith. Do you know when I had my last car? It was the green Pinto. You know, you get the V5 documentation that lists the previous owner. And the previous owner of my green Fiat Pinto was Sarah Jane Smith.
Oh wow!
I thought that was really cool.
I just believe she was real. All the wives that appear in Dempsey and Makepeace, you know, that they go and visit the wives after somebody's been murdered or whatever, they all have that same hairdo.
They do have the same hairdo. They're all not being funny, but they're all really dowdy.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Sarah Jane Smith and the other ladies that were in it, but they all had this. They're all brunette, the same hair with the fringe and the layers, and they all had they were
They all had sort of brown jumpers.
Exactly, they were very cliche wives.
Yes, you can tell it was the male writers just going, "This is what the wives look like."
Yes, this is the modern interpretation of a housewife.
Yes. Who doesn't know that her husband's a crook or whatever.
So apparently these scenes, they're walking around the corridors. They were all filmed just around the corridors at the London studios on the South Bank.
All right.
So sadly no longer there. A lot of the studios in London that have gone. Teddington Studios is gone.
Yeah.
The London Studios is gone. It's like so much used to be filmed in front of an audience. You used to need that facility, but they're not there anymore, which is sad. Sorry, going off on a tangent there.
Phone call for Dempsey.
Right, so we have a mystery lady on the phone.
Yep. Now the plot is really kicked off.
But no messages, no calls? Why the hell should that be?
Dempsey thinks it's a nut.
Oh, you don't think it's some fruitcake? Come on, why else would some nice, normal 38-year-old guy get iced? Nuts.
Dempsey, hang about. This is not Dallas. This is dull old London, remember? We don't have many snipers here. A tower, a queen, and some warm beer. But not many snipers.
Nuts. Get on your computer and get peddling.
Who's this? Hang on. Dempsey?
What?
For you.
Me? Yo, Dempsey.
Should have been you, Dempsey. Should have been you with the bullet in the head.
Could you speak up?
You.
This morning, at the bus stop.
What about it?
Should have been your head that bullet went through.
So what are you telling me?
I'm telling you, you're next. You're going to have to die, Dempsey.
Did I say fruitcake? I underestimated.
You recognize the voice?
Yeah, it was my mother. Of course not. Some kook got my number out of a phone book. What the hell are you looking at? I never heard that voice before.
A, you're not in the phone book. B, neither is SI-10. We took the advert out of the yellow pages.
Yeah, so the lady on the phone is saying it should have been Dempsey that died at the bus stop and not Elizabeth Sladen's husband.
So really, that whole thing was pointless.
So
Elizabeth Sladen was a red herring.
So this is, I like what he says.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not in the phone book, and neither is you're not in the phone book, and neither is SI-10.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, okay, so who is this person, and how did they get the number?
Come on, what are you hiding from us? Spiking's base position is always to distrust. But that's why he's a good cop.
So they're trying to get who it,
thinking, right? Somebody would put away the wife of somebody, or
who is this crazy lady?
Yeah. Makepeace look
Check out those 80s mugs. Okay. Again, you'd have to watch the episode because they're like
everything in the 80s was brown.
It's brown, brown rim with a black and white picture on the side of it. Do you know what? Went to my dad's the other day, and do you know what they had for pudding?
No.
The old shell glasses with butterscotch angel delight.
Oh yes,
in a shell glass. They used to collect the tokens for, and I went, oh my god, that's a proper retro pudding.
Yes.
So all you need is a little bit of tinned fruit cocktail on the side.
Green topping.
Yeah. So Oh, the shell glasses.
Oh, Dempsey's had a thought.
Know what you're thinking, Harry.
It's this plate glass forehead of mine.
You may find this hard to believe, but I am actually on good terms with all my ex-girlfriends.
All of them?
Yep, all. Well, if I wasn't, it wouldn't be my head they'd be trying to blow off.
What about the ones that never made it as girlfriends? Ships in the night.
There's just too many evil germs around these days for that game.
Chances are it's someone you know, isn't it?
There is one. Nah.
Come on.
Well, there's only one broad I know that can shoot like that and might have cause.
There's only one board I know that can shoot like that and might have claws. And then she has a look and he knows that he's saying that it's her. And she's like, yeah, you tease. So it's just little moments like that.
Yes.
They're really subtle, but I think they're significant.
Yes, to show their relationship, because it's not always, Dempsey, what are you doing? You're putting us in danger, blah, blah, blah. No, there is moments that show this deep connection and this flirtatiousness as well. That Makepeace is part of. It's not just Dempsey.
And it does show that, I mean, by the Guardian Angel episode where she's having where Kato Morika's character goes to her house,
Yeah,
and they're drinking champagne on the sofa, she does actually say he's the best detective I've ever worked with. He gets the job done. And you think right at the beginning she couldn't get far enough away from him. She was like, look,
exactly.
I'll work with him, but I'm getting an extra extended holiday at the end of it, but I'm doing this as a favour. And then by the end of it, it's like neither of them, I think, could imagine working with anybody else, because he says, I'm not going back without you. So he quits. Because she quit, he quits, and then
he quits. Yeah.
So
the only downside to this episode is Dempsey's outfit in the romantic, because it's not really romantic, but you know what I mean, scene is just awful. He's wearing these grey sweatshirts. Oh, I've just remembered there's something cringy in this. I'll tell you when we get to it.
Okay. Yeah, but see, the grey sweatshirt that he's wearing there with like the patterns and everything. Yeah. They were the kind of like tracksuit top jumpers that everybody was wearing.
It's very true.
So as cringy as it is, it was a common. It wasn't an unusual.
Oh no, I mean it was high fashion of the time. It's just I don't know, for some reason though, it was the shape of them, or they were kind of round.
They're not flattering at all.
No, that's what it is. Oh. Now, this whole scene, Dempsey's in the basement of his apartment building, and there's
in the laundry room.
In the laundry room, and I'm like, was that not just an Americanism? Did British ones really had it? I don't know any.
I think some. It's not. Maybe in London there might be a few more.
Maybe it's
I mean, like, if you got like places with a studio flat or whatever, then they might. They'd probably make them bigger by having a communal laundry area.
Yeah, communal laundry,
But I don't honestly know.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
I guess if they must have found this building, they must do some. So it's like, it doesn't look like a set.
Yeah. Oh, another mystery phone call. Hang up.
So he's getting lots of phone calls and nobody there.
Yeah, we do get to see so much of his apartment in this one. I think this is the most we ever see.
I think every time in each season when you see his apartment, it's a different apartment.
Yeah,
it's like in the episode. I think there's an episode where an ex-girlfriend of his, even though no one's meant to know where he is, turns out from New York.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think that's after that. So I think no, forget what I just said. That was a completely different apartment to the one that they filmed this episode in.
Yeah.
So he even asked Makepeace to go to the cinema with him because he doesn't want to be on his own, because he's a little bit like, okay, I'm getting a bit concerned now. I don't want to be on my own. I'll ask Makepeace out for a movie. And even then, she doesn't seem like
no, it's obviously not unusual.
Yeah, it's like if I didn't have people coming around to decorate tomorrow, then I would have done it.
Yeah.
So
they obviously
very strange green on the front of that building.
It's very. The lighting, maybe? No, I can't remember.
Okay, so what we've just seen is that the lady that's stalking Dempsey is actually in a room in the building opposite his apartment, and she's spying on him
because he doesn't close his curtains.
Oh, see now Spikings wants to have a heart-to-heart with Dempsey.
Yeah.
He does try, bless him, old Spikings.
Yes. He is like their dad.
Here we go. So I think all this scene now where they're walking through the building, I think that's all the London studios,
Oh, cool.
which was on the South Bank.
He's basically trying to find out. Come on, Dempsey. Tell the truth. Who have you been?
See, it's like they think he's a player. That's what it
Yeah.
is. They think like you must have like a list of women. You must be able to narrow it down.
Yeah.
No man is an island. Poetry.
Poetry. I don't follow.
Apropos of the girl's voice on the phone yesterday.
I still don't follow.
Wow. Single man in London, long way from home, lots of pressure, lots of temptations. We're all human.
We are.
We all react in different ways, do we? With me, it was fish.
Fish?
Mm-hmm. Trout. And a two-piece fiberglass rod. Whiskey bait. Great way of working off your frustrations, hangovers, sifting through a problem.
I'll try it sometime.
Still a member, paid-up member of the Piscatorial Society. Eh? So, if there's anything you want to get off your chest, feel free.
It's occurred to me that this could be a contract out of New York.
No. I cabled New York about your little problem. Nothing known at all.
Well, if that's true, then you can rest assured.
Yes?
If I can tie that broad's voice up to anybody that I know or have known, you'll be the second person to know.
Who'll be the first?
Oh, she will.
You'll be the second person to know.
You'll be the first.
Sure.
Check out the humongous typewriter on his desk.
Oh, wow. I do love it when they occasionally have it. Makepeace is a bit of a computer whiz and they have her on the computer. It's hilarious.
Oh, they'll BBC Spectrum.
Yeah.
Or something. No, was it Acorn or something?
Yeah. Yeah, Acorn. Yeah, you're right. I think. Before Apple.
Okay, so Makepeace just giving Dempsey a note and he lies to her about what's in the content.
Yes.
Something about being from his aunt. Yeah. So at this point, this is in season 2. It's before the events that happen in the burning. Makepeace doesn't actually know the real reasons for why Dempsey ended up in London.
That's right, yeah. So she still thinks he's a more dangerous guy than he is.
Yeah, just been transferred or
Yeah.
like on an exchange type thing.
So
So
he's showing up.
Dempsey's is going into an abandoned building.
Very nice building.
Isn't it?
Because he wants to deal with it on his own, like the lone cowboy that he is.
I think he's very proud. I think he's the kind of character that would, unless he absolutely had to, he wouldn't ask for help.
No, absolutely.
Although you say that though, he did just say they asked him to Harriet to the movies because he didn't want to be on his own. So that's not always the case.
No, I don't think he would directly ask for help. That's the kind of example where he is trying to do it. He's not going to phone her up and say, "Look, I'm worried. Can you just come and?"
Yeah, it was a roundabout.
Yeah.
Tack. Yeah.
An indirect way.
Yes, that's what I was.
Now it's the creepy. It's the creepy Dempsey and Makepeace music that they always play when they're creeping around.
Oh, they play this music in the one where the serial killer is killing the women that look like his wife. I
Oh
think it's
yeah.
the second that one they play this.
Night.
It is really
Something
creepy
night.
music. It is let's have a look, see.
Night. It's not Nightcrawler, but something like that. Let me see.
Out of Darkness.
Oh, Out of Darkness. I knew it was something. That was close. Close. This is a very prolonged scene for not very much to happen, is it? It's a lot of creeping
No,
about.
he's still creeping around an abandoned building.
Yeah.
And it was scared by a couple of pigeons.
Aha, we've just seen
Oh,
trouble.
pigeons today. I was in the high street and this guy was sat on a bench and I swear, he had seeds and stuff and the pigeons were on his hand.
Oh!
There was a load on his feet and he had it in his hand. The pigeons were on his lap. And I'm just like,
Ugh.
that's disgusting. Okay, so Makepeace has just turned up.
Yeah.
Dempsey nearly shot her because he was obviously
There was a gun.
tenseful situation.
There was a gun set up, so when he pushed the door open, the gun shot at the door, so it just narrowly avoided shooting him. And
now there's
his car.
a photo of him on his car.
I've got to say, she takes good photos.
And how she's going to love you to death, isn't she?
And there we have the episode title.
Do 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 do.
Harry has figured out that it's not somebody out for revenge, it's somebody that's obsessed with him in a creepy fashion. Dempsey has a workout room in his flat because obviously
it's just making Makepeace a cup of coffee, which is significant in a bit.
Yes.
So Makepeace is in Dempsey's flat and she's not actually been in his flat before.
No, I was waiting to say she's nosing around it, taking it out.
Oh, look at them. It's got the milk from the milkman. Milk in a milk bottle, not that plastic stuff we get now.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but he's like, I didn't scorn nobody.
Oh, oh, he's got the old kettle that he used to put on the cooker to boil.
Well, you see, that's American. Americans have that kind of a kettle, so that's
We always had one of them growing up.
Oh, we found something.
They found the photo where the photo came from. How would you trace a photo back then?
I suppose
They used to have numbers on the back of them when they printed them. You used to take the boots and stuff, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whoever the printer, they would know, and you normally had to write down your name and address and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true. He says, right, drop them off. We'll pick them up next week.
I know.
And you have the stickers on there saying overexposed.
The last
you get
two
yourself
pictures of
so right now where you can
family
take your-
dog, just so you could use up the film.
Yeah, it's sort of like a random flower in your back garden.
He just threw out his Chinese food. How dare
Through
he?
the window.
Some poor person walking down below who's got a chow mein on the head.
It's raining Chinese food. It does surprise me how much they litter in this series.
I know. Without a care. Oh, Dempsey's threatening to punch.
So he looks familiar as well, this guy who's playing
Yeah,
the
He's
private
another one
detective.
that's cropped up in lots of.
There's a lot of everyone that was in the cameo shows, had cameos in TV programs throughout the 80s, cropped up in this at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had half the cast from The Bill, half the cast of EastEnders.
Yep. Anybody that was in London. And a middle-aged man especially, there was and here
And
we
you
are,
know-
first shots of Suzi Quatro. I love her jumpsuit through this.
She's got great hair.
Oh, she does.
That is a
love
proper 80s spiky haircut.
Yeah. With a mullet at the back, that's the way to do it.
Yes, talking of people that started in the Dempsey Makepeace, Chicago Fire.
Oh yes,
Wallace Bowden, played by Eamon Walker. His very first TV credit was for Dempsey Makepeace.
Here we are.
See, I'm good at useless trivia.
Oh, she's broken into Dempsey's flat, and she's looking creepily happily about it.
She does do creepy very well in this episode, I have to say.
She is very good. I know she did do some acting, but not a lot. But she's very good in this.
I don't know, it's really random. I remember her cropping up in an episode of Newman and Baddiel.
Oh, how strange.
I don't know why that just popped into my head, but I'm sure that she ended up on an episode of that.
She used to be on Radio 2 a lot. She used to have her own rock show. Oh, she's washing up the cups and she's seen lipstick.
She's not happy that there's lipstick on the coffee cup.
Nope. How dear. He's had a girl in here. Smash. Oh dear. And now she's awaited to get super creepy. And
at least she closed the blinds when she takes her clothes off.
She knows, hey, look, if I can see in.
Exactly. Who else is looking through their window?
And she's undressing because that's what you do.
Yeah, she's very creepy.
I got all the novelizations of Dempsey Makepeace when I was about 12 on holiday in Stevenage. A post office had them for like 39 pence each, and I bought them all. Let me just tell you, the books aren't meant for 12-year-olds.
Really? Oh, okay. We'll leave it there. Okay, so she's now answering the door in a bathrobe to the landlord.
Yeah. She's pretending she's his living.
Yeah, it's got. So the landlord's just dropping off the jacket from the dry cleaners.
And she's hanging up in the wardrobe like she lives there. But we'll fill in the blanks of what she does here, off screen. She obviously is naked and making herself at home in his bed. And
yeah.
I suspect she doesn't just sleep. Well, just sleep. Anything further.
Yeah, moving on. Now, this is definitely the London studios because I'm sure those staircases go up to the like.
Oh yeah, even I recognise them.
Yeah, that is definitely the London studios.
Live TV shows where you saw the step. Oh, Dempsey's coming to his local haunt.
Dempsey's got an American bar where he goes to get the American beer in the New York Times.
Yeah.
Oh, gold discs on the wall. I haven't noticed them before.
Oh yeah.
Wonder where that pub is.
Oh.
Wonder if it's still there. Could be.
Yeah. Oh, and here comes his waitress
by now.
And his waitress is Suzi Quatro. Dun, dun, dun. We find out. We know how he knows her.
And she knows his catchphrase. Life is tough and then you die.
And it's a really clever scene actually because it shows exactly why she's become obsessed with him. He pays her absolutely no attention whatsoever.
I mean, she even indirectly just says, "I'm finishing at 8," like hint, hint, kind of thing, and he just completely washes over him.
Yeah, and here comes Makepeace. Oh dear. And he's obviously he's putting his foot in it, I should say, by having Makepeace meet him there, but he doesn't realise because he doesn't know this is where the woman is.
So you think this is quite a big thing for this episode? Like, so not only has he now invited her to his house, like Makepeace, he's now shown her got to meet her at his favourite pub.
Yeah,
he's kind of revealing a lot more of his personal outside of work stuff in this episode than has happened up until this point. So it'll be the first time she's been to this bar that he's a regular, that people clearly know him.
Yes.
First time she's been to his house. So it's quite.
And now he's invited her over to use his exercise gear. And this is a bit I find cringy. I mean, I know the point of it is that obviously Suzi Quatro's character has the apartment bug, and exercising sounds dubious when you can only hear it, not see it.
Right. She's misinterpreting the sounds of them exercising for different sounds.
Exactly. But it's just like, oh, it's so cringe. Bless. I just have a low cringe threshold. Those are some nice photos of Dempsey. I wonder if they kept them. black and white arty shot. Very nice. Oh, he's fit to be able to do that kind of a sit up on a thing, raise. I don't even know.
No,
what you
that's
call that.
really good. That would really tone your stomach up.
Yeah.
So basically, his legs are like on this bar thing, and he's hoisting himself up to tone up his stomach. And it's
Yeah.
like,
He's
my
actually
stomach's hurting just watching him do it.
Why do all that?
I could probably do with doing some of that after lockdown. It's like,
Oh, Makepeace is wearing leg warmers! Hooray!
wearing leg warmers,
plastic.
leggings, leg
Leg
warmers.
warmers. Oh, look, she's wearing white leg warmers.
Oh, is she? Oh, leg warmers.
Leg warmers.
It was the decade of the leg warmers and the snood.
Yes. Either that
For
or
those of
the
you that don't know, the snood was like a scarf. It was like a circular scarf. It was all in one that you put over your head like a hood. So it was a
Actually,
scarf slash hood.
it might not be leg warmers. It might just be thick socks. Look. She's got her jogging trousers tucked into her socks. Good look. Now he's doing reverse sit-ups. I don't even know what you call that, but blimey, he's fit.
I call it painful.
And I have to say, Makepeace did look impressed.
I know. It's like, okay.
Makepeace is going to have a shower, so she's stripping naked, and Suzi Quatro is not happy at the stripping off silhouette against the window. Yes. Oh, but she's not listening anymore for some reason.
Yeah, she's not happy. So now Makepeace is driven home.
Yeah.
In her Golf GTI.
She's honking outside. Honking their horn.
But she's got home and all the power's not working.
Oh.
So there's no lights.
She's been busy.
Yeah, how did she get there that quickly? And how did she know where she lived? She's clearly been stalking her as well.
Yeah.
And to get there that quickly.
Yeah. Oh, and
I like the psycho bit then with the knife. It's
yes.
It's like, okay.
It's very chick fight. You have to. They've never shy away in the Makepeace. There isn't always a woman for Makepeace to fight. You know, in the early 80s, that was the way it was. But no, Makepeace fights men, women, all the same. She
gives as good as the rest.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so Suzi Quatro has left the knife behind that she just tries to attack Makepeace with. So I think that's what they use to get the fingerprints.
Yeah. Oh, that's a long shot of close-up face of Makepeace. I thought I'd actually frozen there. I was like, oh, this is a long shot, isn't it?
And now the phone's ringing. It's a really long shot. It's like 40 seconds.
I mean, I'm not complaining. It was a beautiful shot.
No, it was just like, okay, it's like, what's that? Something happened to the telly? It's like...
I should obviously gone to the nearest phone box to phone them out.
So now she's being threatened by this scary lady to leave Dempsey alone.
Hello? Hey, bitch. Leave my man alone. Who are we talking about? Jim. Just get out of his life and stay out of it.
Doo-doo. Doo-doo.
It's an iconic theme tune, though.
It's classic.
Yeah.
Love a good 80s theme tune.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and Dempsey's pissed.
Oh, he's annoyed because his lady love is at risk.
But she's defending herself, saying, I can take care of myself. And she's like, no one's getting near you.
You see, it takes this to get Dempsey riled. You mess with Makepeace, and he's got no patience. I love it when you talk to me that way.
She calls him a devious bastard, and it's like, I love when you talk to me that way. There is really good banter between them.
Yeah.
Because also, I wonder if this is their input, because they did say there was some
I'm sure
dialogue
Michael,
that they tweaked.
Michael
themselves.
Brandon had a lot to do with rewriting a lot of the interactions. So it's probably him we have to thank.
Oh, of course. We would anyway. It's
Oh,
him. So it's like,
you know, he's quite sort of craggy looking then. I don't mean in a bad way. I just mean he's got a craggy face, if you know what I mean. But he didn't age much at all for the next 30 years. He stayed looking about, you know.
I mean,
late
how old
30s.
was he here? He's got to be late 30s here,
Yeah, I
isn't
would
he?
assume so, yeah. Oh, and now he's trying to play down Makepeace. He's trying a different tack.
Okay, he was 40 when this was
there you
filmed.
go. Yeah. Oh, well, there we go. We're about right.
Oh, he was, no, sorry, he was 39 when it was filmed. He was 40 when it came out.
Yeah.
And then when this came out, Glennis Barber was 30.
Yeah. Now, the 80s is so aging because, I mean, I don't mean Glennis looks a lot older than that, but you know what I mean? The styling. For now, if somebody was a 30-year-old or late 20s, the way they dress would be so different to the way somebody
Yeah.
with 40 dresses, you know? But in the 80s, it was like, once you hit about 15, you look exactly the same.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you then. I'll check out the nice, the
That
little
was,
white 80s portable telly. I had
Yeah.
one of those.
oh, and he's watching.
Actually, my first TV I had was because I obviously was my two brothers would always argue over what to watch on telly. So I think for when was Live Aid 85?
85,
That
yeah.
that year my birthday was like 4 days before I got a black and white TV for my birthday.
Oh.
But it was when I literally had to turn the dial to tune it in. It's like,
Oh, well, all my TVs were massive. My dad used to fix old TVs, so we always got, you know, ones that people have put into jumble sales or whatever, and I got them, and my dad fixed it. So I had a massive TV in my bedroom, but it was like a valve one, you know, from when I was about 12, I think.
I'm not sure what movie it is. He's watching something with Orson Welles in it.
Yeah, it's Orson Welles, but I don't recognize.
I don't know if
the
it's
film.
Citizen Kane.
No, I don't
think it's
so.
Citizen Kane. But there's something interfering with his telly, and
Yeah.
Dempsey's just realised that his flat's been bugged.
Bugged, yeah. Aha. He spotted the bug.
A little bugger.
And suddenly it makes sense, and he's about to find out more.
Oh, there's Mr. Foley, the landlord. See, this is the thing, right? So she's clearly got the jacket back, put it in his wardrobe, and so he's like, the jacket's come back from my cleaner. So did he think that the landlord had gone into his flat and put it away? Like, he's not allowed to do that. The landlord's not allowed to do that.
Who
You
knows?
think it randomly appeared back in his wardrobe? She was in the bath.
She was in the bath. No, she was in the bath.
That is very good.
That's a good one. Oh, there's. Oh, what's the other guy's name?
Watson.
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 Of course, Watson. Suddenly couldn't think of his name.
So Makepeace has turned up with a plant for Dempsey's empty flat, almost empty flat, and it's
Well, not empty because it's full of cops.
It's full of technical guys with wands trying to find bugs.
And tasting and brushing for fingerprints, and poor Dempsey's in the bathroom because that's the only.
It's SI10 CSI.
Yes.
It's like, come into the bathroom when no one can hear you.
Yeah.
We think.
Yes. It's funny because you just, in my mind, I tend to assume Makepeace turns up here because he phones her about the bugs, but no, she's just turned up anyway. She was just going to see him. She
with a
doesn't know.
plant.
Yeah.
With a gift.
Yeah.
And my mum used to have a coat like that.
Oh yeah, it was very sort of soft leather, grey.
Soft leather tie around the waist.
Sort of like mushroom colour.
Yeah.
Very 80s.
I think my mum's was grey, like a dark charcoal grey.
Probably cost a fortune. Probably like some designer or something. Because Makepeace's clothes were high fashion.
Oh, so now they've twigged that
Who it is.
The stalker is Suzi Quatro from the American Bar.
They've both seen her.
Oh, he's got his Letterman jacket on.
Mm. And the girl who's
Oh, considering they've just opened, they've still got all the bottles and everything on the bar. Surely they'd have cleared that up the night before.
no, they're just going, we'll leave that for tomorrow.
Do it in the morning. Let's go home. Can't be asked to do it now.
Because she's your girlfriend. You're close. You her birthday, you brought her flowers and oh dear. She had a fantasy relationship with Dempsey, which, you know, who could blame her? It's funny, the more sort of we find out about Suzi Quatro, the more kind of matter of fact Makepeace become. I wonder if she's like, it's like she's meant to be very supercilious, like, yeah, well, I'm next to him, so. I wonder if it does it's supposed to make Makepeace think about things a little bit, you know? Which obviously.
Someone's threatening her turf, but her domain.
Yeah, her domain, exactly, yeah. And maybe if she's thinking about the fact that she's making this other woman jealous, and she quite likes that, you know.
I think it's going the other way though. It's making her jealous as well.
Yes, yeah, possibly, yeah.
I like this bit.
Yes.
Where Dempsey's at the window and he's trying to see if anyone
Binoculars.
can. He's spying on the other people, see if they can see if she's in any flats. And he's like, there's a naked guy working out with weights, and she's like, where?
Oh, and here we go, the most infamous scene in Dempsey and Makepeace. They've switched the bug detector on, so they'll know when she's listening to them. And so they're going to act out a little play for us, kind of push Suzi Quatro to the edge.
I don't think it just pushes Suzi Quatro to the edge. It's like
it's a very Stevie.
I know
it makes me a little hot around the collar, I have to say. And Suzi Quatro is indeed watching them and is about to flip. Oh, here she
no,
goes.
if women didn't have a crush on Dempsey before this episode.
Yes, definitely will after this one.
Sure, I ran around a lot, but that was before I met you because, well, I didn't know you. But I've changed. I mean, with you, it's different.
I wonder how many times you've said that before.
Now, what I feel about you, Harry, is special. Very special.
I didn't realize.
Oh, why should you? We spend every waking moment together. It's a wonder that we're not bored to tears. I'd like that.
Nor me.
You sure? I don't want to have to put words in your mouth. At first, I thought that this was just an affair, but I realize now that it is much, much more.
What do you say? You think you can love me? I don't mean now, but in the weeks and the months to come.
Love's not a word that I use easily.
Me neither.
Although I wake up every morning and my first thought is of you.
Same for me. I sit there in the kitchen in the morning with my tea and toast, and in a funny sort of way, I actually look forward to going to work with you.
I want to hold you here. I want to feel your hair in my hands going through my fingers, and I want to kiss your lips and neck. Smell the perfume coming up through your clothing. I want to rip your clothes clothes off. Kiss every inch of your body.
Well, why don't you?
At first, you see, Makepeace is laughing, like, and rolling her eyes, like, oh, this is so cheesy and whatever.
Mm. She's buying none of it. She's going along, but she's buying none of it.
Yeah. She's giving him, okay, all right, yeah, I'm not bored to do
She's
that.
like, you do all the talking. I'll just acknowledge what you're saying. Oh.
He's going, come on, let's work in the yard here.
It's like, no, you're doing really well. You carry on.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Suzi Quatro's not liking this.
No. You think you can love me? Suddenly, the tone has changed from Makepeace. Suddenly, she's become a bit more serious.
Yeah.
And he's saying, my first thought of you is every morning. And suddenly you start thinking, now he's saying the truth.
The lines between acting and I think is blurring slightly.
Yes.
So I think that bit's true, which says I actually look forward to going to work with you.
Definitely.
That is Makepeace. That's not acting.
That's no. And now Dempsey's saying the truth totally. I want to feel your hair, my hands in your hair. I want to smell your perfume coming up through your clothing. And the classic line, oh, why don't you? Suddenly very serious.
Why don't you? This is, so they get to that point, well, why don't you? And then, of course, the shot rings out. And it's like...
And the moment is gone.
That's the
spell is
equivalent of
broken.
the telephone ring trope. There's something it gets to a key point where I think, okay, something could happen here, and then something will happen to, like, a telephone will ring, or...
Quote Remington Steele.
Yes, I'm just the exact same thought in my head.
At us.
There's a scene... Yeah, go on,
This
sorry.
No, I was just waiting. You can see it.
There's a scene in Remington Steele when they're in the car, and they start making out, and then the shots start firing at them, and goes, why is it whenever we kiss, people shoot at us?
That's exactly what happened. Not that they were about to kiss, but obviously, well, why don't you? Is a very
No, it was a key moment. You think there's something could have
definitely.
It could have, yeah, and
he was definitely saying the truth at that point, because it wasn't about I'm in love with you or whatever. It was basically I think about you a lot.
I didn't realise he had leather trousers to go with that leather coat.
Yes, very nice outfit. I do like that outfit, and the leather boots too. She's all in leather.
It's like a leather onesie.
Now they're chasing Suzi Quatro up the building.
See, why would they go? Why would she run up to the roof? Why would you just run out? Why do you guess they think she'd be coming into the building?
Yeah. So wait, say, why is she, she hasn't killed anybody, but I forgot, like you. Oh, yeah, she did. At the start of the episode, she did kill somebody.
Oh, they have the Houses of Parliament behind Dempsey.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, so it's.
You have to throw in the odd London tourist for the American viewers.
Yes.
Or tourist site, even.
He doesn't want her to do anything stupid. Oh, he gave her a kiss on her birthday. He led her on. Not really. You're very troubled lady.
See, the thing is, watching this whole episode, that she is not a very well lady, though.
Yes.
So you kind of feel a little bit sorry for her.
Yeah, I do feel sorry for her. She's just, the fact that she says there, you bought me roses. She's blurred the line of reality into her fantasy. She doesn't know the difference anymore. So it's like, oh.
Because they say that when she because it was revealed that she used to be in MI5 and something happened that pushed her over the edge. So she's clearly not very well.
Yes. Oh, Makepeace is putting her gun away because.
Yeah, so they're trying to calm her down and talk her around because they don't want the gunfire, so they both put their guns away.
Oh dear. She's hanging off the building and
she lunges for Makepeace and falls over the railing, and so Dempsey's trying to stop her from falling.
If you let go of the knife, I'll be able to hold you, but she won't let go of her knife. Oh, and so it's a hideous fall to her death. It's sad, this one.
Yeah.
because it is. She's just not well. She was ill.
So this next scene, they're just like they walking off from the roof. They're now re-entering Dempsey's flat.
Just
I
wandered
just want to
off.
hope that this is like an hour or two later that they've actually called the police, waited for that to all happen, and that has all been resolved. They've not just gone back to the flat and left her there.
Yeah, left her.
But I think this episode is a slight shift in dynamic between their relationship.
Yes.
And I think that scene where they're acting for her benefit is quite a pivotal scene and one of the most famous scenes from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think in terms of action and everything, like I know, like there's a number of car chases and everything. It's fairly low key in that respect.
Yeah.
But it's a really good episode.
Yeah, it's not a very complex plot of gangs and bad guys and this bad guy and another level of bad guy. It's just
it's on a more personal level. This episode, isn't it?
It much more focuses, and that's why we see Dempsey at home a lot more, because most of the time we only ever see them. Dempsey Makepeace isn't one of those shows where you see the protagonists at home a lot. That it's mostly all about the plot of that episode. It's all about the case they're working on. So you see them in the police station or in their cars. You very rarely see them at home. So this is because it's much more about Dempsey. There's a few like that. As you say, there's the one where his ex-girlfriend turns up. And there's the one, what's the one where he breaks in to, again, it's like Remington Steele. He breaks in to her house in the middle of the night.
That's the one where he gets accused of something, and then he's like hiding. He's like he's gonna get arrested.
It's like moonlighting and Remington Steele. It's totally a tropey episode, isn't it?
Oh, it's totally a trope. It's like, and it also is the fact that something the guys in the episode, something happens to them. They have to go on the run, but the person that they turn to is the female of that pairing, and it's like it just says, this is the person I trust most. I know they would be there. They will support me. They will help me. And the fact that they could turn them in, but they trust, and the ladies in that scenario then put themselves on the line because they're not turning them in. They're helping them, and they themselves by default could get themselves in trouble.
Yeah, totally.
But, what episode was that? Let me have a quick look. It was
there's
the one where they're on the building site, wasn't it? And it's something to do with the dodgy buildings.
There's a couple of episodes that I get confused in my mind, because there's the burning and there's another one where Dempsey's undercover without Makepeace. In fact, there's quite a few, isn't there? Where
that was the burning, though, wasn't it? Where he's undercover without her.
Is there another one?
Just
the one. Yeah, because the burning is the burning's the American woman, and there's the one where it's the transsexual. It's the
Makepeace Not War.
Makepeace Not War.
Where he shoots Makepeace.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah, that's just intrigued all you listeners that have not seen it. Dempsey shoots Makepeace.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so you have to watch that one now.
Yeah, and there's because Makepeace pretends to be a prostitute, doesn't she, to try and get to see him at some one point. Yeah.
Oh no, that was in the burning.
Was that in the burning?
Yeah, where she goes.
I mean, I'm getting them confused in my brain.
It's when she turns up at the Makepeace Not War. She gets the T-shirt off the guy off the market, and then she goes to the warehouse.
Yeah.
And then they chase her back to her house.
She's dead. It's on the news that she's dead.
So, the episode where he goes to her was Jericho Scam.
Oh yes, yep.
Oh, it's episode 3 of season 3.
Yeah. So that's season 3. It was quite far into the relationship. I wonder how long. Did they say how long he's been there? I can't remember in Guardian Angel. I can't remember if they say.
I think they mentioned in the burning it was a couple of years, maybe.
Like 2 years, I think. Yeah.
Because if you think by the time season 3 ended, it hadn't even been on air 2 years.
No, it's amazing.
So it went from the January '85 to November 86, so it wasn't
Yeah.
even 2 years.
No, it's bizarre, isn't it? And it is. I mean, if people of our age and older, if you say Dempsey Makepeace, they will remember. Oh yeah, Dempsey Makepeace was this show. They'll remember
Yeah,
enough
it was,
to tell you what it was. So it
but
was a hugely impactful show.
but it was massive. If you think when this aired in 1985, Sky had barely even started.
Yeah, nobody
Most
had
people
that.
didn't have cable,
No.
so you only had 4 channels that you could watch,
Yeah,
and the main channels obviously ITV and BBC One. So this was the era where if you had something on a primetime slot on a Sunday or Saturday night,
yeah.
you would get 20 million
Oh yeah,
viewers.
totally. Not
But I
seen it.
imagine it wouldn't have been in that era. It wouldn't have
Yeah.
been unheard of for primetime shows to get in the high teens, early
Yeah, I was
20s
going
in
to
terms
say,
of million of viewers.
I would bet it was at least 15 million it was getting, I would have thought, for that era on a Saturday
Easily,
evening.
yeah.
After Dempsey Makepeace, they did have
Oh, here we go, ratings.
Cat's Eyes. Was Cat's Eyes after Dempsey Makepeace? But there was a lot of similar shows that they put in the slot. That kind of.
Okay, so
Right.
according to this,
Yeah.
all 3 series gained great popularity in the UK, achieving 20 million viewers.
Oh well, there we go. You were right. 20 million.
So
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, when you think about it now, I think the highest viewing of something recently in recent years was the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special. And I think that was 11 million, I think.
yeah,
So
and I
it's-
think, and if you think that also now takes into streaming into account.
yeah, exactly.
So, but then you think that then, like we say, we had 4 channels. Now you've got Netflix, Disney, iTunes,
Yeah,
BritBox, Sky.
yeah. Amazon Prime.
You've
Yeah.
got all the digital Freeview channels. It's so much. It's just we're smothered with content now.
Yeah.
Whereas 30 years ago, you had this was your choice, take it or leave it.
Yes.
You know, and if you don't like it, go down your video shop. You know, it's like that's what it was in the mid 90s.
Yeah. And that's
It's not like
why.
now where you can go and watch. I'm gonna go and watch Jurassic Park on my telephone. It's like
Yes.
someone said that, like, oh, I'm gonna watch a film on my phone. And
Yeah, I know.
like, what? What are
While
you
I'm waiting,
about?
while I'm waiting to go to the dentist, I'm just going to watch an episode of Friends. People would be like, "What?" You know, mad. But that I was just going to say that the fact there's so much choice now. That is why we cannot possibly cover every single ship, and why it is easier for us to concentrate on ones from the 80s and 90s when there was less choice and they were more culturally impactful because they, everybody watched them and everybody knew them.
Yeah, I think if we do cover anything, it's going to be from the last 10, 15 years. It will be stuff that's been on network television because that's what goes to like the main audience. It won't. We're not saying it won't happen, but it probably will not include much stuff that's been on Netflix. We're including Lucifer because it did start off on mainstream like network American television.
And it is Lucifer is very openly influenced by moonlighting and other things like that. So I think if it's a show which is obviously a ship show rather than a show which has a ship, you know what I mean?
I think Lucifer though is a massive and one I think we would definitely be covering going forward because it is so. It's not necessarily unique, but the fact that there's such a massive ship in Lucifer, and it's significant because it's the fans that managed to keep the show on the air.
Yeah, exactly.
When Fox canned it, it was Netflix. There was a whole campaign about bringing Lucifer back, and it went on to Netflix. But the campaign by the fans, a lot of whom were the shipping, because the shipping audience on TV shows are massive, so they must have had a huge influence in saving that TV show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is so significant now that you can't underestimate a TV ship and it's the TV audience or the fan base because it has happened in the past. It happened years ago with a writing campaign that Cagney and Lacey was saved in a similar vein.
Yeah.
So you can't underestimate the audience in terms of their passion for a show.
Yeah. They are inevitably there are fans who are fans of a show as a whole, But inevitably, the shipper fans tend to be the most passionate and most invested because they want to see a very specific outcome. And if you get cut off before that's ends, before we've seen the resolution of a relationship, then they will do everything to say, no, hang on, we want to see this story
Yeah.
finished, you know?
And so I think that's why in Dempsey Makepeace,
Yeah,
you kind of feel a little bit cheated because
definitely.
you do get these moments throughout, and you kind of. I would like to have seen it end on them getting together. I don't know if it would have worked so well as them being
No,
a couple
I agree.
after that. I think it needed to have ended on that point, but it kind of did anyway, a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't think. Actually, I think it's recorded fact that was never meant to be the last episode. I think
No.
they assumed they were going to be coming back for a full series, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Whether that would have they would have left that as the final episode, or whether they've done it differently, I don't know.
Yeah.
But even though it does work a little bit as the last episode, because she leaves and she comes back, and you know they're kind of not to each other, but to other people that they've got feelings for each other. So you know there's something there.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel completely resolved.
No.
So you kind of in a way when shows like that are cancelled, it's like with Rosewood got cancelled after 2 seasons, and that again that was never resolved. And it's when you get shows that get cut that end on a cliffhanger as well, which is even more frustrating.
Yeah.
And you just kind of think, okay, we're going to cut this show's been canned, but at least allow them, or the writers or the showrunners, give them an hour to resolve it. So we're going to can it, but we'll give you a 1 hour time slot to give the audience some satisfaction of this is how we're going to conclude it.
And that's why the BBC tends to be quite good at that, you know, giving them enough warning that this is going to be your last hurrah. And that's, you know, that's what happened with Lucifer. They've said in advance, okay, this next season is going to be the last one, so the writers know to work towards it and everybody can be in agreement with it. And I think that is a shame with Dempsey Makepeace. And it did always feel like people still say, you know, oh, you could do a movie. And I mean, they are, hey, Harrison Ford's still playing Indiana Jones. Michael Brandon can, you know, and Glynis Barber can still be Dempsey Makepeace. But
I have ideas of how they could do that. I've got, if anyone wants to message me, I have an idea of how they could do it. But again, it's all, I think, again, I think on Twitter it was mentioned that there was talk of it, but I think it was all to do with copyright or ownership or licenses, that it never happened, which is such a shame.
It is such
but
a
I
shame.
think it's
especially because, you know, obviously that Glynis Barber and Michael Brandon ended up married and are still married today. So you know that central relationship was still there. And because Michael Brandon became so involved in the production, you know, directing at the end, and as we said, he was involved in writing scenes, and he could have easily written, I'm sure, a film or a whatever feature-length special or whatever, and done it. But obviously it was out of his hands. It was someplace higher up.
It was ITV. I think I read something to do with London's Burning. That was a show that came on after, and I think that was the one that they invested all the money in, or something to do with they couldn't justify the cost for both. And which is
and that is after what we just said about, you know, Lucifer and similar shows. It is sad to think that if Dempsey Makepeace was made now, it would have been saved. You know, there would have been a campaign for it, and there would have been enough money raised to say, look, we'll raise enough money that we can make a film or whatever. And you know,
I'm sure there were probably letters to Eagle Films, or probably letters to ITV and TV Times saying, bring back Dempsey, or like how, but I mean, who's to know that when the final episode aired that they knew it was going to be the last? All we knew is like that episode aired and it just never came back. There isn't the fanfare now that this show's been cancelled. Like now, if you've got a show that's not coming back, especially in America, it's all over like the internet. Like, okay, this show's not. It's like something got cancelled recently, and they were trying to find a manifest, I think it was. And they were saying this is not going to go on Netflix because everyone assumes if it gets cancelled, Netflix will pick it up. Like, oh no, actually Netflix isn't going to touch this one. And now, so when shows are cancelled, you know about it a lot quicker. I think Dempsey Makepeace just kind of went away quietly, and it wasn't like a year later saying, "Was it going to be another series?" And people started questioning, "Why isn't this come back?" And then you kind of think, actually, no, we're not going to make any more. So until you missed it, you didn't really know that it had been
Yeah.
cancelled.
I would love to know. I mean, obviously, sadly, a lot of people involved in the show are no longer with us, but I'm sure Michael and Glynis would know if there was going to be more, how the relationship would have developed. Would it have been? I think that it's a classic sort of ship middle ground where the characters have confessed to other people their feelings, but not to each other. And that gives you a foundation to build it from. So I could have seen a whole season anyway, because it was only 10 episodes generally, wasn't it? So
yeah, it was 3 lots of 10.
Yeah, so another series, a season, should say, where it builds from that position of them going back to work together, but there's this underlying thing that they are both ready to say to the other, I want to move this into another dimension, and possibly that would result in them not working together, and maybe that is where the end point would be.
I could have seen if they had another series, I could have seen it ending with her going back to New York with him.
Yeah, that would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
It would be dynamic, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
just like kind of reversal. Like, okay, he's going back to New York because obviously everything in the burning meant he could go back.
Yeah.
And then she could be like the English, like just say, okay, like a twist on it, saying, and like Dempsey Makepeace version 2, but it's like the English lady Harriet in New York. That would have been awesome.
That would have been really good. Wow, and she's the fish out of water, and you know, that would have been very interesting. Oh well, missed opportunities.
Yeah.
But it is odd in that, despite the fact that it doesn't have a resolution, as you say, you still feel kind of satisfied with it, because
it didn't shy away from it. You kind of know, okay, they do. It does have some resolution, but you felt like it hadn't ended.
Yeah. We'll say what we always say. It's our shallow thing. We would like to have seen.
The thing with shippers is we're all just voyeurs. We want to see them get. But also at the same time, are we all just optimists? We wish people to have a happy ending.
Yes, totally.
We are we're on this earth to be with somebody and procreate, and as part of that is you have to be in a relationship. So we are willing these people to be together. Well, they're single. They clearly have chemistry. They should be together. And I'm fascinated by the psychology behind shipping and the fascination behind it. But we are just basically voyeuristic when it comes to watching these couples on television.
Because knowing they've got together off screen, like in the X-Files, is not satisfying. You need to see it.
It's like,
it's not enough to know it happened. We want to see it in detail.
Well, that's the thing. You become invested in these characters, in these relationships. You feel like you get to know them. You want to know what's going on in their lives. You feel like you know them on some kind of level. So when things happen that you feel like you want to be a part of, you do feel cheated in a way, which is, like you say, it is. We're all just really creepy as an audience. But it's like but then when you get something like with the X-Files, X-Files was so significant because it was the first show that coined the phrase ship. It was the first real show where people went online and started discussing their relationship, and where the online thing really blew up was with that series. So Chris Carson knew how much the audience wanted this pairing to be together, to become a couple, and to do that off screen, it was like him sticking two fingers up to the audience. It's like, I know this, but this isn't about like what you want. It's about the stories. It's about Mulder's story, finding his sister is a proof of extraterrestrial life. But then, not being funny, then he's just shit all over it anyway. So when you invest time into a couple, regardless of, you want to see some kind of resolution, even if it's just like some kind of holding hands or some kind of declaration. You don't actually want to see the full on whatever. You could have them wake up the next morning or have a conversation, fine, but Just to
We're not asking for porn here.
No, and just to have some kind of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
But then to just say, oh yeah, but this happened, and it's like, oh, okay, well, you do feel like a little bit cheated by that.
Yeah.
But then saying that, it's like what we said earlier. I mean, some of the episodes in Dempsey Makepeace in the third season, the way they are with each other in the episodes, you think it's not canon, but you just give off the vibe that you're a couple.
Yeah, totally. They're
Especially, in that
having
episode.
casual sex and not admitting their feelings. We'll just pretend that the actual that's what's happened.
Yeah, so we come to the conclusion, Dempsey Makepeace, we're having an affair, we just didn't show the audience.
Yeah.